Hello, welcome. Pipekit office hours. Hi, nice to
Hi,
meet you, Kat.
how are you doing?
All right. Are you the same cat who had Datadog questions?
I'm the same one who keeps waffling in the channel. Yes, I thought I'd come to office hours and try doing something more direct.
Excellent.
Lovely.
So, hi, thank you for all the help, incidentally. I finally managed to get it working. I've got a dashboard, it's great.
Oh, excellent. So, what else could we help you with, I guess?
So, today's question is I want to set up role-based access control stuff. So, I've been trying to work out how it all works. Essentially, we've got three kinds of users. We've got our team, which are the admins. We should have access to everything forever. We've got a team that should be allowed to create workflows, and we've got a team that we want to only be able to run a subset of the workflows. And I can work out how to get some of the role-based access control stuff done, and you create your service accounts and that. It's how do I grant access to a subset of the workflows? Is it new namespace time?
I think so, yes. You have to
Yeah, it
use
is.
the beta stuff that allows you to just run templates from namespaces.
Uh-huh. I made a lovely picture of what I'm trying to achieve.
Oh, we like pictures.
Yes.
I'll share my screen just so it's
Cool. Oh, so it appears on the recording.
yeah,
Yeah.
if that's all right.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. So
If I could work out how to share my screen.
I'm usually the one who can't share my screen, so
there we go. Right. So we don't currently have this one, so I'll make this a different color. This can be green. Ooh, does it not show it in updating mode? Oh, that's me. Hang on. Let me give you an alternate link. Let's start a new session with it. I like Excalibur.
not used this before.
Uh, it's quite nice and easy. So if you use the new link, then yes, you should be able to see everybody moving around and all the updates. See, it's brilliant. Okay, so what we currently have is base Argo namespace, a managed one where all of our workflows actually run. I've got two user roles and two current service accounts. Are they the same thing? Are they not the same thing? How do they link? I think is question one.
That is a
Tim,
good question. What's a user role, Alan?
that's the thing inside the Dex side of configuration, isn't it?
Good. Well, we sound like we know what we're talking about, so that's good.
You probably know more than me. I've just been sort of drawing this picture as I've been wandering around the Kubernetes namespace and going, okay, we've got one here, we've got one here. So what we currently have is SSO is enabled, so you log in, and then that creates a binding with a cluster role to whatever this role is called. I'm going to call it current user role.
Mm-hmm.
And that lets you see all of these workflows. So I suspect it is this one. But what I'm trying to work out is like for this new role, do I need to create it in the Argo namespace? Do I need to create it in the new namespace?
I think you need to create it in the new namespace.
Okay. So if I grab all one of those, put one of those over here. So this could be my new user. And then role binding and all of that nonsense.
This becomes not fun for UI login, doesn't it? I'm sorry, I'm speaking to Alan more than anyone. Because
I'm trying to find the UI login cheat thing that you have to do to yeah.
There's a horrible thing you have to do, yeah. Because obviously, if the role is over there and the Argo server is up the top, you're not going to have much luck logging in.
Yeah, this is where I was starting to get confused because I couldn't work out which mappings were which. So I thought I'd draw a picture and hope.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm finding that there is it's not like it's classed as beta, but it's been in that state for a long time, and I think it's good enough to use. We don't have known problems with it, so it might be because very few people are using it, but
Yeah.
Well, what we're both doing is reading right now instead of.
So it's SSO RBAC namespace delegation.
That rings a bell.
And I'm going to pop it in the chat, the link. So you have to enable that on your Argo server, and then your service accounts have to have magic annotations put on them to show who's going to gain access to those through the UI. Are you only attempting to make this all work through the Argo server, through the user interface? No Kubernetes direct access?
Preferably not. The people who need to run the new workflows are not computery people. So it's kind of like, how do we let someone do this without damaging stuff? So only UI access.
That's fine. It's just you have to, because of the way it works, you have to kind of do, if you want to do both, you have to do twice as much work nearly.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll need to for the other group. Because one of our groups is very much, they need to have almost access, almost admin access, and one group needs to have only read only. So I was just going to give them admin to start with and hope that was easy.
And then you put some service accounts in. So you put a service account in your new namespace, and you would use the RBAC rule. Tim, you're still sharing your screen, you know. Trying to show off your failure to carpenter. You can set up RBAC rules within the namespace annotations that then, in theory, I've only done it for toy uses, allow those service accounts to get added to the users as they log into the Argo server. You're on mute.
Yeah, I was just
saying, because I don't do anything simply. I've got this all going through the Helm chart as well. But yeah, so
the Helm chart does have that. I remember that being in there.
Oh, that's good. I should probably look for it directly then. I did notice where to find the extra workflow namespaces, and then there's workflow.rbac.service accounts. So I just put all of the service accounts I want to add extra in there.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess my questions are, where do I start? Where's my documentation?
I think from the Helm chart, it will probably put all those service accounts in one namespace, I think.
Yeah.
Which you won't want if you're trying to do this. So you'll have to have a. Are you doing Argo CD or?
Not yet.
Like
that one is later. I'm going to get this one working first.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, you'll have to have a separate something that sets some of this up, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so I can just do it with like Kubernetes stuff. That's no problem. Like, if you want to know the full horror, we've got Terraform that creates the Helm chart resource that then creates the Kubernetes resources. I didn't design this. It's fun. But that can do that service account level stuff for me wherever I want it to be. Okay, so I need to put stuff in the new namespace. I need to somehow map bits. I guess the other question is, how do I give a role access to more than one namespace? Because if my new user role is down here, or if, say, I've got like, oh, no, don't give you that. So I've got my other team role over here, and I want to give them access to both namespaces. Where would I put that? How?
I think that's in this again, isn't it? But I'm just trying to look it
up.
So
you could just create two service accounts. One that is the service account that you're going to give to your much more limited users, and one that you're going to give to your other team, great
Mhm.
names. So the blue team and green team get just one, have a service account in new namespace, and blue team have. You can put multiple service accounts in multiple places and give them appropriate role bindings, roles. It doesn't matter if you've got lots and lots of service accounts under the hood making stuff happen. And you can give them the same. You can bind them to the same role if you want to give them the same role, or you can give them a different, a more privileged role if you want.
Excellent. I shall have to try this. I'm sure I'm going to have a ton of questions at some point.
What it's not easy to do, what you can do is then they can start the templates you're going to have. The workflow templates are going to be in new namespace, and they'll be able to read them. So they have read access to the workflow templates, and they'll be able to press the button and run those workflow templates. And that will need to be able to create a workflow. So they'll have to have the capability to create and read the workflow, otherwise they won't be able to use the workflow. But that doesn't prevent them writing their own workflows if they are nefarious users who know how to type code in or copy off the internet.
Well, that's annoying. Don't make me write a UI for in front of this UI. That makes me sad.
So the only thing you can put the whole system into a restricted mode where it can only run templates effectively.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. Does that apply to everything, or does that apply to a specific namespace?
That then applies to everything.
Everything, yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, what you could do, I'm not suggesting it's necessarily the right way, but you could run an independent Argo Workflows in your green namespace.
That's what I was starting to think is, what if we just made this an entirely separate thing? Because then it becomes a point of like when people are writing their Helm charts to create the workflows, which namespace do they put them in? What if I need them in both?
Yeah. How do you promote one to the other and all that sort of stuff? I mean, it's all achievable. It's obviously with more workflow controllers, the more fun you have. I think to some degree it's also there's an argument for doing it. You know, if the green team clicks submit 50,000 times, then at least the blue team can still do stuff possibly, or you can have strong limitations on that namespace to get around that, I guess. But
we'd give it a different carpenter node group thing, so it couldn't do it 50 million times.
Scale up too much,
now you're seeing where I was doing my dashboards and my metrics earlier.
So things to consider are things like there's a namespace parallelism, which is limiting the number of workflows that can be run in a given namespace concurrently. So you might as well stick that on just to belt and braces.
You can only run 10 of them. Stop clicking OK.
Yeah, that's it. And the rest will just sort of queue up.
You can also do template level parallelism restrictions as well, if that helps you. But if you've got 20 different workflows and they're each restricted to 10, you've still got 200 workflows to be concurrently running.
You
can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I shall have a think.
If I was you, I would probably go down the separate workflow instance route, even though it's probably harder work. Because I think there's more payoff. You would do the opposite, would you, Anne?
No, I would consider getting Argo CD in earlier rather than later.
That's Argo CD does make this easier. Yeah.
Okay. How does it make it easier?
Well, it's just less effort than Terraform. And you could use the Argo CD to manage the templates. So you could have, you could have the templates for black managed namespace 1 and green namespace could be deployed from a single, production directory in Git, as well as them being the ones that are in development for managed namespace 1 and things like that. If you're using Flux already, you can use it to do the same thing. You don't, we just have familiarity with CD rather than Flux, but you can use Flux.
I have been trying to convince people to move on to Argo CD, but I have not got time at the moment to do everything. So yeah, at the moment, most of like the back end, like the Argo workflows and events itself is done with Terraform, and then like workflow 1, 2, and 3 would be done with Flux. But yeah, it's just trying to get this whole user roles and where they exist connected in. And then I need to talk to the team about how to connect it to our SSO, because that's another fun time.
Who's your SSO provider?
Okta.
Okay. That's
It
definitely
seems to have
doable.
groups. So yeah. As long as I can match to group names, which it already does for letting people log in or not. So
Yeah.
I think you need a DEX. I might be wrong.
okay.
So this is where Argo CD helps again. Argo CD comes with DEX, and in the documentation, Argo Workflows uses the Argo CD DEX to do a lot of that. There's nothing stopping you installing your own separate DEX and using that. It's just the one that comes with Argo CD is just plain out of the box DEX. It's not, there's nothing exciting about it. But I'm pretty sure you need DEX to make Okta work from conversations we've had recently with other people. I've not done it myself. I've not used Okta.
I haven't.
Yeah, I'm not sure you do have to have Dex, but I
don't think you get the groups. Otherwise,
I think
that's what I
might.
Well, that saved me a headache in the future then, because I'm waiting for everyone to come back off holiday in order to get access to that side. Okay, cool. I've got some ideas. I've got some horror. I'm going to go test this without SSO to start with, and just have like 2 bog standard login things and see if I can't get them to see different things. And then if that works, we can look at the SSO side. But no, that's been really helpful. Excellent.
Cool.
I got any other questions? I don't think so. I think I've got everything else working so far. It's all very shiny.
Good.
You guys are my favorite community, incidentally. You always answer my questions, so
We try.
I mean, we're paid to.
That's always good. I mean, as was pointed out yesterday, we also pay Datadog, but can I get them to answer anything?
Well, no.
Yeah.
We were quite excited about the possibility of a Datadog rant for half an hour. But,
I mean, mostly it came down to, no, it's going to work. You just need to go make a cup of tea and wait for Datadog to eventually index the thing you sent it half an hour ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was surprisingly slow from what you were saying.
Yeah, the metrics were taking a bit of time to go across, but once they were there, it was fine. I think the only other thing that I need to do now is change one of my gauges to be a count, because I wanted to get workflow failure count. Ooh, that's a question. Can I put all of those metrics in a template somewhere? I found a link for it in order to get it as a default for every template.
You don't put them in a template, you put them in your workflow controller config map. And there's a workflow defaults section there. Again, that is exposed somewhere in the Helm chart, so you can put it straight into your Helm chart.
Brilliant. Because I think everyone would like that for their dashboards.
It is the way that works is it can be overwritten by stuff in the template.
That's
so
perfect.
If for some reason someone wants to make exactly the same metric name with different ways of gathering those metrics, it would change if they did it in the template. But yeah, that's a good place to set kind of default resource requests, node selectors, that kind of stuff.
We have got default node requests in there somewhere, so we're probably already doing some of the defaults, because I was trying to override those yesterday. Awesome. I think that is all of my questions and my queries, and a lot to go and consider and write down. So yes, thank you. That's been really helpful.
Well, good. Well, you know where we are if you get stuck. Just give us a shout.
I will do. Awesome. Well,
Nice one.
it's nice meeting you all.
And you.
Thanks.
And you.
Bye.